What's happening, Nooch?
Fish, it is baseball season, but
Almost, almost.
almost. I'll let you have a couple minutes and
Got a
then
few
baseball.
minutes of football we
Yeah,
need to talk about.
then we're going baseball.
So today is what, Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday,
Okay. Um, all right. So baseball season starts Friday night. So yeah, we gotta.
Friday
This is
afternoon.
probably the Friday afternoon.
Yeah,
This is probably the last we'll talk about football, at least till spring ball. Lane Kiffin met with the media the other day, basically after the old original signing day, which is dead. That's not a
yeah.
thing. LSU did pick up a couple more players. Um, Added 42 from the transfer portal. They just kept coming, man, and got the number one player in the portal, the number one quarterback, Sam Levitt. Got the number one offensive tackle in Jordan Seaton. Got the number one DL or DE in Princewell Uman Mielen. I've been practicing that.
I was wondering.
Princewell Uman Mielen. We're gonna call him Princewell.
Yeah,
Anyway, LSU just a great job in the transfer portal, and that's over with now. And it was nice to hear Lane talking about what's next. The transfer portal went great. Recruiting, he did the best he could with what he had. Right, got here and in 48 hours had to sign a class, and he basically he did a great job. He got 14 great recruits, and then
first
picked up a
first
couple of
school
more in February.
first school ever to get the number one player in the nation in both the high school class and the transfer portal in the same
Yeah,
season.
yeah. Lamar
Never
Brown
happened
got
before.
Richard Anderson, got a couple of five stars, several more than he ever got at Ole Miss. I can promise you that. So there you go. Why is
Yeah,
he here? There you go.
that's right.
And then one other thing he did that was very important, and you and I have talked about this. I thought there was some players that he just had to keep, and he kept them all that he needed. All the ones that he had to keep. I'm not gonna say
Right.
all that he needed because it would have been nice to maybe keep a couple other guys. But hey, he got Caden Durham even to come back, and Caden Durham
Oh,
I thought he was gone.
yeah, I thought for sure he was
Yeah,
following Frank.
and he didn't. Harlan Berry came back. Uh, Trades Green. Braylon Moore, that was the three on offense, and then on defense we had Whit Weeks. Um, who else did we have? Oh, DJ, your
Yeah,
guy.
of course.
Um, say that again.
I said, of course.
Yeah, your guy, and then ah, the other number 11
Oh,
cornerback.
Woodland.
Yeah, PJ Woodland. All right, couldn't think of his the last name.
I'm in
Um,
baseball mode, so you gotta forgive
Right.
me. I have an
So,
excuse.
hey, you figured it out. But yeah, he had to keep those guys, and then also Tamarcus Cooley signed Delane's little brother out of the
Yeah.
transfer portal. That's beautiful. Anyway, great job. And then just something that I thought was funny is Radio Row on Super Bowl week. The reporters go out there and our good friend Matt Moscona, who neither one of us knows or really cares for, but anyway, he was out there and he had some great interviews, and everybody he talked to wanted to talk about Lane, and he had the pleasure of interviewing Fred Smoot, former
Hmm.
Mississippi State cornerback, honestly probably second best player that in my lifetime that I can remember coming out of Mississippi State.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
he
I
and
mean,
he and Dak Prescott.
you would put him above John Bond.
I don't want to talk about John Bond, okay?
Well, you said your lifetime, and that's definitely your
I'm
life.
scarred from John Bond, but yeah, I would,
Okay.
especially when you consider their pro career. Okay, and Fred
Okay. Yeah.
Smoot went on to have a great career with the Redskins, and I don't
Played
remember who
Washington
else he
for a
played for.
while.
What's that?
Yeah, I remember him at Washington.
Yeah, he was
I
with the
don't follow the
Redskins.
NFL, so I don't remember who else he
He was
played.
with a couple of teams, but he had a good career. But anyway, Fred Smoot was funny. Back when Fred Smoot was playing for Mississippi State, I hated him, but he was funny. He just happened to be playing at Mississippi State when LSU sucked, and he liked to talk trash, and he's good at it. But Moscona interviewed him, and he was talking to him about Lane Kiffin, and basically. Smoot said, what he knew about Kiffin was if he's in the living room with the mom and the dad, Lane's leaving with the child. That's basically a quote. And then he said he had an aura about him. And he said Brian Carey is what he said.
Yeah.
Brian Carey had the aura of a snail, and he couldn't go in anybody's living room and recruit anybody. He couldn't have gone and recruited his kid, and that brought up his kid. Fred Smoot has a son who's a 2028 class of 2028 wide receiver, highly rated, 16 touchdowns in Virginia high school football, highest rank, highest division of high school football. He scored 16 touchdowns this past year as a sophomore. And they got to talking about him, and he flat out said his son's dream school is LSU. And so Moscona pretty quick said, hey, clip that, send it to Lane Kiffin, and tag him in there. And so they did. They sent him that clip. Well, Lane responded by quote tweeting it and tagging Mississippi State in it. I'm like, that's just brutal. They're over here catching strays. Poor Mississippi State. They weren't doing anything.
Yeah, I literally haven't done anything in a while.
Right. But here they are catching strays, and it just goes to show. I put a post, a thread up on Game Day Tigers about how it's going to be fun again. And
Yeah,
yeah, we're not even talking about football. We're talking about Lane Kiffin throwing strays at Mississippi State, you know.
but you're right, and you and me talked about it before we hit the record button. It's entertaining now. We talked about how much of an absolute chore last season was.
Mhm.
We had weeks that we did a podcast because, well, we do podcasts, but honestly, neither one of us, our hearts weren't in
We
it.
don't even want to talk about, dude, we barely beat freaking Western Kentucky.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It
How
just
do you do
wasn't
a
interesting.
podcast about that?
Yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't interesting. And at least now it's gonna be entertaining. Whether it's successful or not, we'll have to wait and see, but it will be entertaining. It will
Yes.
not be boring.
Yeah. And I just can't imagine with the class he put together and just his style of ball, It's gonna be fun to watch. Like I
Yeah,
said, even we're talking about it's gonna be fun, even not the football is gonna be fun, just
right.
the sideshow. But it's so funny, the personas of Lane Kiffin. He's got like his one where he's in front of a microphone and he's very uncomfortable, seems very withdrawn, he doesn't like to talk too much. And then he's on Twitter and he's just killing people. It's so funny, man. It's funny.
Absolutely.
But the dude, you said it in our discussion before we hit record. He does not sleep. He does not
No.
sleep. This is a man who got on a plane after Sam Levitt left LSU, went to Knoxville, and was on his way to Miami, and Lane intercepts him and in the airport in Knoxville. And by God, the kid signed with LSU.
Yeah.
And Jordan Seaton, number one OT, and we need an OT in the worst kind of way. The number one left tackle in the portal. He leaves LSU, heads to Georgia just to go home, and Dan Lanning flies to Georgia from Oregon. So Lane's like, all right, bet. He gets on a plane, flies to Georgia. And who'd he sign with?
LSU.
If Lane's in the living room with the mama and daddy, he's leaving with the child. So
Absolutely.
anybody that thought he couldn't recruit, shoot.
Yeah, he's got that. But anyway, that's enough about football. Fish, it's baseball
Yeah.
season.
Hey, did you notice I got my baseball little do here? I got my vibe going
I see
on.
that. I see that. I've shifted into full baseball mode. I got the headband, of course, the pinstripes. Never leave home without the actual official gamer hat. As you can see, it's got a few innings in it.
It's broke in. It's broke in.
Yes, absolutely. Man, it's game week. We're playing Friday.
Yeah.
Friday afternoon, day game, because Jay likes to schedule the opener as a day game just because
Cold.
February in Baton Rouge can be interesting weather-wise. So it's
Yeah, I
nice if
can.
if you have the game scheduled for 1:30, that gives you all evening to get a game in.
That too. You're right.
Yeah.
Good.
Thankfully, looking at the weather, it'll be a little cloudy, but it's going to be in the mid 70s, mid to upper 70s actually at
Yeah.
first pitch, and the wind's going to be blowing out. I mean, we're talking April type weather
Might
in
not be so,
February.
it might not be good news for my man crush.
We'll see. We'll get to him.
Yeah.
But on that note, where you want to start? You want to start with the pitching staff, or you want to start with the lineup?
We kind of talked about it, and I never did answer your question, which one I wanted to start with. But what I did say is every year, it's almost like I know we're not talking about football, but we're always talking about the offensive line. That's a big question mark. Well, in baseball, the big question mark is the pitching rotation. Who do we have?
So obviously we lost a couple of big names.
Yeah.
Kate Anderson, Anthony Ianson are both gone. Chase Shores, who Big T absolutely loved, he's gone. A couple other arms, Jacob Myers, Connor Ware, those guys are all gone. So now let's kind of piece this together.
Yeah.
Uh, your man crush, Kason Evans is back. He actually in SEC play last year had the best ERA on the team,
Yeah.
which is impressive when you consider the list of names I just said is gone. Kason Evans actually led the team in ERA in conference play. And if I had to guess, Jay Johnson hasn't announced it as of 20 minutes ago. I'm guessing Kason Evans gets the nod opening day. I'm pretty sure he'll probably be in the weekend starting rotation. I don't know if he'll be the Friday guy all year, but I'm confident that he'll be more in a starter role than what he was last year. Uh, we got a couple of transfers. Cooper Moore, he'll probably be a guy in that weekend rotation. He comes over from Kansas. He had a good ERA, a
Huh?
lot of strikeouts, not many walks, which is what you look for.
That's what you're looking for. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Cooper Williams, who did get a little playing time with us last year, he'll
Well, he looked
probably.
good towards the end of the season,
I
actually.
think he'll be a weekend guy too, just because he's a lefty.
Lefty.
You get a lefty thrown in that mix. People are talking about Zach Cowan. Zach Cowan's back. I think he'll be used in a role similar to how he was down the stretch last year.
Kind
It'll
of
be
long
kind of
relief,
like
middle relief.
it'll be fluid. You need him in the middle innings. He can get those 2, 3 innings for you. You need him just to get 3 outs late. He could be that guy. It'll be. I think it'll just kind of what he does Friday or Saturday night will determine his availability on Sunday. If you need him and have
Yeah.
to use him on Friday and Saturday, we will. We absolutely will.
So
Because
what you're saying is if we don't need him too much Friday and Saturday, he may be the Sunday starter?
yeah, he could start on a Sunday, or he could be a midweek starter type guy. He's someone who can log. He can go deep. He can log a lot of innings in a single game for you, or he can just come in with that changeup that he's got and just get you out of a jam. Just I think we'll float him around as needed, wherever he best suits us in that particular situation.
Is
Because
there an update on another pitcher, um, Gavin Guidry? Is there an update on him?
Guidry's back. Guidry, I'm assuming will fall back into that closer role, just because I haven't heard anything otherwise. But he's another guy
If he's
who
healthy?
he's supposedly he's 100% back.
Okay, nice.
He's back. I'm saying closer, but then again, you have a guy like Maverick Rizzi's also back, who
Yeah.
Rizzi has closer written all over him. I mean, he's like 7 foot 13 and throws 100. So, he's a guy who I don't see him having long outings. I don't see him being a 3, 4 inning guy. Maybe as a setup right before Gavin Guidry. I mean, you have him coming in at 100 and then Gavin Guidry with that 84-mile-an-hour hammer.
Yeah.
That's a tough follow one after another.
Yep.
Jaden Newt's could be another guy in that mix. Newt was
God, he's
really
still
strong
around.
down the stretch. Yeah, Newt's back.
Seventh, eighth year. What is it?
William Schmidt, he's another hard thrower. He's a guy who probably
He
gets
was
some hit.
somebody we had a lot of hope for last year
Yeah,
and didn't
absolutely.
pan
But
out.
but
But
he was a true freshman.
yeah.
That happens. So
I remember asking you early in the season, we were going through non-conference play, and he looked so dominant. I'm like, how did we sign this guy out of high school? And then we hit SEC play, and I said, oh, that's why.
yeah, but yeah, you know what? He's back for another year.
Hey, that
So,
we could have said the same thing about Kate Anderson the year before, and look at the
yeah,
year he had
absolutely,
last year. So
exactly. And then
I'm not giving him a hard time.
honestly, look, we got a guy coming up from high school who's going to possibly follow that same pattern. Marcos Paz. He's a true freshman. He may have even went to Catholic High as well too. He's a guy who has future ace potential written all over him, but true freshman. We'll see what
We'll
happens whenever
see.
you break into
We'll see.
college. Uh,
Especially SEC play. That's a
yeah,
difference
FTC
maker.
play. We got Devin Sheeran. He was a guy who came in. He was a transfer last year from Mount St. Mary's. He didn't play at all
Didn't get to
last year
play.
because of
Didn't
Tommy
get to
John.
play. Yeah.
But he's another guy who was a big strikeout guy. So that's another arm in the mix, and including some of the guys we saw in spots last year. You Connor Benj, Grant Fontenot, DJ Primo, all of those guys are back. Those are all guys who are going to log innings here or there. You don't know.
Did they do something with the roster limits? Because it seems like we got a team full of pitchers just off of what you're
Um,
saying.
Actually, the overall roster limits dropped from 40 to 34. So,
What
uh,
about scholarships? So
so scholarships, not this season, but next, it's going to full scholarship limits. However many players are on the roster,
can
which
be on scholarship.
correct. So it'll be
Okay.
34
Yeah,
scholarships.
and it's something stupid like 11 and a half or
It's
something stupid,
11.7 right now.
idiotic.
And if you offer someone any type of scholarship, it has to be at least a quarter scholarship.
Well,
It's crazy
but
right
that's
now.
going away.
Hopefully that's going away. Next season it'll be a full 34.
Okay.
Um, a couple other transfers we got, a couple of lefties. Danny Lackenmeyer came out of North Dakota State. We actually saw him
Yeah, we
in the
saw
two
him.
games we played
Jay
last
has a
year.
habit of doing that.
Yes, and look, yeah, it's North Dakota State, but the dude's ERA was 2.37, 56 strikeouts to only 18 walks.
And Jay saw something in him. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how we got Zach Cowan.
that means you throw strikes. Period. You throw strikes. If you throw
That's how we
strikes, you
got
throw
Zach
strikes.
Cowan, though. Remember, it was in
Yeah.
the he was in the regional, and
Uh,
I believe it was a regional. And Jay saw him and like,
yeah,
hey, you're
that
gonna be a
was he
Tiger
came from
next year.
Wofford in the North Carolina regional from in 24.
Right.
We also got Santiago Garcia, another lefty. He's a transfer from Oregon. Again, 40 strikeouts to only 19 walks. He's a strike thrower. So we'll
I
that's
remember a couple of years ago we started noticing this with Jay, and the only reason we noticed it with Jay is because we noticed it not happening under the previous. That's another Lane Kiffin thing. At
yeah.
our last stop, he doesn't say the words "Ole Miss." I love that. But anyway, under the previous coach, Paul Maneri, there were years we didn't have a left-handed pitcher
We went 3 straight seasons without a single left-handed pitcher on the roster.
on the roster.
Oh,
And
on
now,
the
just going over pitching is we started with pitching and we're still going, and that tells me things are different.
Yeah, we have I'm thinking at least three who are going to be heavy contributors. And I mean this is because we're limited on time. I'm not going through the entire pitching staff. There are other lefties on the staff who will see an inning or two here or there. It's so hard right now because most of these guys are transfers. You don't know what they're going to do until you see them in action.
Yep.
And Jay Johnson is a really hard guy to predict because he doesn't follow a book. He just doesn't. So this is really truly just guesses based off of what the media saw in practice. That's it.
Scrimmages, yeah,
Yeah, scrimmages. Hey, this
several
guy looks good.
scrimmages.
So that's kind of where we're at with the pitching staff. But Jay Johnson's got 2 national titles in 4 seasons, so I'm gonna trust that he knows what the hell he's doing. You know,
Two
I mean,
national titles in the last 3 seasons, yeah.
correct in the last 3, but he's been here 4,
Okay.
which, by the way, is a record. No one has ever done that in their first 4 seasons at a school before. No one's done it in fewer than 8, and he did it in half that.
Yeah.
Has a very realistic shot at repeating this year. I mean, repeating is extremely difficult, so I'm not going to predict that. But
Yeah. And, let's
we're in
not
the
get
mix.
ahead of ourselves because
Yeah,
it's bad enough that LSU fans expect Omaha.
look,
Okay.
we're
And that's
not
fine.
going.
I
I'll
mean,
let you
look
know
at
now.
the,
We are not going undefeated this year.
yeah,
I,
but they
Confident in
expect
making it.
Omaha. And if you look right over here, um, and if you look right over there on your
Yeah,
side, it's understandable. Um,
absolutely. And
but, you know, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I
it's
did want to do a little commercial in between the pitching and the players, and, promote our non-sponsor. But I see you got them right up there. Got yeah, Purple Haze for me, and you got Amber Lager for you. I like the jerseys. Bertman and Ben McDonald. You got Wally Pontiff. You got Todd Walker. I
Eddie
can't
Furnace.
say again.
Eddie Furnace.
Eddie Furnace. Okay, thank you.
So it's the
Um,
four officially retired jerseys plus Wally, who's never been
plus Wally. Yeah,
officially, but nobody wears 31.
yeah.
So,
Nobody should.
uh,
Forever 31.
yeah, so
So,
yeah, we got
so yeah.
the 8 trophies, the two Golden Spikes winners.
Yep. And I see, like I said, over here, you got the College World Series appearances next to my name or next to my head. And over there next to yours, you got the national championships. That's a lot of them. I like that.
It is, and we need to add to it, really.
So
I really
underneath
think.
me, you got this, but real quick, that sponsor over there, Lazy Bee Hay Farm, uh, I'm gonna ask you guys to go check out the YouTube. Lazy Bee Hay Farm's YouTube. Had a
Go check it out.
fantastic week. We had 4 lambs in 2 days, and they're super cute. And I put some videos up, and you'll love them. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Got some new puppies too. They're
Oh,
really cool.
nice. There you
All
go.
right, yeah, livestock guardian dogs. But go check them out, and let's get to the rest of the team.
Okay, yeah, let's move into the lineup. I'm gonna kind of go somewhat in a weird order. We'll start with the outfield. Uh,
Okay, Derek Curiel.
well, we're gonna start outfield because honestly, that's the only where I can say that we're 100% locked in right now. We know who's playing in what positions, period. And we're returning the three starting outfielders from the championship game last year, which is extremely rare in college baseball. But we're returning our three starting outfielders. Slight little
Yep.
shot. Uh, Stanfield is going to move over from center field to left,
So I'm
and
glad you mentioned him because I got it pulled up on LSU. I know you won't see it on my phone, but his picture on LSUsports.net, if you go to the baseball roster, he's number one. So he's the first picture you see. It's
yeah,
fantastic. Go
yeah,
ahead.
please. Uh, so Stanfield is going to move over to left, and what most people don't realize is in conference play last year, once conference play started, from that point on, Stanfield led this team in batting average last year.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not a power guy. He got one home run, and it was ridiculously wind aided, but he led the team in batting average and actually runs scored in conference play last year. He had 326 against SEC hitting. That guy's moving over to left. Curiel, who was as a true freshman last year, went like 2 months straight of getting on base every single game, which is just ridiculous. Um, he actually led the team for the season in batting average and runs scored. So you're bringing back guys who get on base. Period. That's the key. You can't score if you don't get on base. Those two guys, they do it. And then Jake Brown really down the stretch last year took over
He was
right
the
field.
best player.
Yeah,
I
he
thought he was
was.
the best player
I,
towards the
I,
end of the
I think
season.
so too. And listening to him talk, he's worked a lot on his hitting against lefties. So I'm actually expecting a jump from him this year. He's your starting right fielder, and actually he had the second best at batting average on the team in against SEC hitting pitching last year.
Yeah,
And I think he's going to be better. He
he's got a
hit.
really pretty swing too.
I think. So he ended the season last year with 8 homers. I believe that number will probably creep up in the 13 to 15 range, somewhere around there. I mean, I'm not expecting a 20 homer season, but I
Well,
can see
last
him
year we
getting
were
to
all
mid
bitching
teens.
about the fact that he wasn't in the lineup enough. So,
Right. So he's in. Um, Catcher, we saw Kate Aaron Beatty a little bit last year. He caught typically on Sundays and midweeks.
yeah, he's
He's the guy.
actually the first one you see on the roster because he's
Yeah,
got a
yeah,
zero.
he's number 0. Uh, he's the guy this year. And honestly, I think he was good enough to play more last year had we not had Luis Hernandez, who was great. So, he's going to be your catcher pretty much. I think he'll be your everyday guy, uh, like a Eddie Yeaman, somebody like that. Will get some spot starts here and there because you can't expect your catcher to catch 70 games. You just can't. That's not realistic.
Right.
And then we move over to first base and a guy who I think will rapidly become a fan favorite, Zach York,
Mhm.
transfer from Grand Canyon.
Yeah. It's a big
Guy,
dude, right?
he is 6'2" and he's listed at 295,
He's
which
thick.
I'm guessing that he was weighed completely naked. I mean, there's no way this guy's under 3 bills. It's just not possible. And
Who's that first baseman Mississippi State had for a few years? He was big, big guy like
yes, I know exactly who you're
can't
talking
remember who
about.
he is.
Wes something. Wes, I don't remember his last name. Yeah. Oh, and from what I've seen in interviews and hearing, this guy's personality is even bigger than what his body is.
Mhm.
So
Dude,
he's
it looks like he
rapidly,
wears a. I'm looking at his picture right now, and it looks like he wears a size 9, 9.5 hat.
yeah. Oh, and you know what? I don't know if that was just a Grand Canyon thing or if that's him all the time, but he wears the high pants with the stirrups and everything. So like this guy's old school, point blank, and he's got some pop. He hit 13 homers last year. He'll probably see that number go up just because really once that calendar starts to change into April and May, March, April, the box kind of gets a little homer friendly for those lefties. So
Yeah,
if he can translate from whatever conference Grand Canyon's in to SEC play, he'll put up some good numbers, and he's gonna be a guy that fans are gonna just flock to. He's that guy. He's that dude.
agreed.
So I'm gonna skip over second base and go to shortstop. My guy, Stephen Milam's back.
Whatever. Keeping right
Uh,
over to the good part.
well, second base is the only place I really have question marks, so I'm saving that one for last.
Okay.
But the monster's back. He actually, as far as returning players, he had the most home runs and RBI on the team from last year, which is
He hit
really,
last year?
he ended up with 11 homers last year.
Oh, okay.
11 homers, 57 RBIs. Um, but that's misleading because honestly, he sucked in conference play.
He slumped big
Yeah, he
time.
really struggled in SEC play, but he picked it up once the postseason started. I think we'll kind of see that. We won't see as big of a slump come conference play. I'm confident of that. For one, defensively, he's as good as he gets. I think he's the best shortstop in the conference. Yeah, there's other guys who will get drafted higher because they're not 5'6" like he is. But as far as actual playing college ball, give me him over any other shortstop in the league right now. He's going to be an anchor. He'll be a guy who will bat somewhere between the 3 and 8 hole. Who knows with Jay Johnson where in that mix, but somewhere in that mix, he'll be there. Uh, third base is going to be interesting. I'm pretty sure Trent Caraway, transfer from Oregon State, will probably be your starter. He's not going to be the defensive player that your old man crush Braswell was, and he's not going to be the true power, just pure hitter that your previous before that man crush Tommy Tanks was. So he'll be somewhere kind of in the middle.
What
He's going
about
to
Tanner Reeves?
Reeves will probably be in the mix at second base, I think.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Well, that's
Uh,
good because
Caraway didn't transfer here to not play third base. So Caraway's your third baseman. He'll be not as good defensively as Braswell was, not as good offensively as Tommy White, but he'll be somewhere in
how is
that
he as a
middle.
pitcher?
Not sure to be honest with you, but I know
Because
Braswell.
my man crush from last year was a freaking pitcher, dude.
Uh,
Signed a little contract with the Royals, right?
was it? I'm not sure who he's
I
on
think the
with. I'll
Royals,
be
yeah.
honest.
I think it's the Royals
Okay.
organization. Nah, I just give
Yeah.
my guy props. I couldn't give him props much last year, so I got to throw it in there.
Right. Um, So then that moves us to second base. And I think you kind of have a three-headed monster right there. Tanner Reeves will be in that mix. If I had to guess, Tanner Reeves will get the Friday start just because he was here last year and knows what it means to play in Alex Box Stadium on a Friday. Um, we brought in Seth Dardar from Kansas State, who
You
we
finally
saw.
got to the one I wanted to talk about.
Yes, we
I
saw him
almost
at the
picked him.
Frisco. We saw him at the Frisco Classic last year.
That's another
He'll
one Jay Johnson saw and
Yeah,
evidently went and talked to when he could and got him to come to LSU.
he'll be in the mix, but honestly, I think Braden Simpson, who comes over from High Point, he'll probably I think he's the guy who's going to eventually separate himself. And this is again guessing, maybe not, but I think Braden Simpson will probably be the guy. And then honestly, one guy is going to play second base, another guy will be in the discussion for DH.
Yeah. The reason I got excited about Seth Dardar, um, when you're talking about the Frisco challenge or whatever it was called,
Yeah.
and they said that kid's name, and I'm like, when did we? Oh, he's not LSU? What the hell?
No,
If you
actually,
got a
and
name like Dardar, you got to come play for LSU. And then
I'm
lo
gonna
and
say this.
behold,
Look,
he
I'm gonna say
does.
I went to school with a lot of people named Dardar.
I'm sure you did.
I'm from
Hell, I
down there.
did. I went to school with some Dardars.
I'm from the Bayou. I went to school with a lot of Dardar.
I bet you did.
Do you know where Seth Dardar went to college out of high school? And it wasn't Kansas State.
Mm-mm.
He went to Columbia,
What? Like the Ivy
the
League?
Ivy League. Columbia
Nice. Now I
is
like him even
where
more now.
that's where he started his college career, was in the freaking Ivy League. And
That's awesome.
I'll
Good
be
for
honest
him.
with you, he's the only Dardar I ever met who is even college worthy, let alone Ivy League.
Come on now. Come on now. I was so excited when I heard he was coming to be an LSU Tiger. I'm like, that's amazing because I remember thinking that when he was at the Frisco Challenge. I'm like, that guy's on the wrong team.
Yeah, he's from Mandeville, so he is a Louisiana guy. He's from Mandeville, started his college career at Columbia, transferred to
Right.
K-State. Jay Johnson saw something he liked, so now he's here. He'll be in the mix at both second base, and honestly, he's listed as a utility infielder, so
Yeah.
he could also maybe slide over if Caraway's not performing. Dardar could sit there. I mean, and he'll get his at bats possibly at DH, which DH again, we will kind of see. We
Well, he's
got
a
a few
fifth year
guys.
senior, so hopefully he finds a spot somewhere.
Yeah, DH will probably be a lot like we were at the beginning of last year before Ethan Fry took over. You'll have whichever two guys aren't playing second base. John Pearson, he's a guy who will be in the mix. He can also play a little third base, but like I said again, I don't see Caraway transferring from an Oregon State level school here to
Right.
start. Eddie Yaman, who I mentioned, he's
Yep.
a pitcher slash first baseman. He'll be a guy. And we have a true freshman, Mason Braun. Supposedly, this guy might have the most power on the team, like the true absolute stud power hitter. He's another guy who will probably see some at bats there in that DH role. May get a little time here or there at first base or as like your fourth outfielder just to give those guys a spell here or there. Uh, I don't, and look, I'm not even going to attempt to guess the order that we're putting these guys in because Jay
It's
Johnson,
going to
again,
change.
Jay
Hell,
Johnson does not follow any
Garrett
books.
Jones batted leadoff last year at some point
Exactly.
and played
So,
third.
yeah, who knows? I know this looking on paper, there's a reason we're top two in every preseason poll. On paper, we have a team that can absolutely make a deep run. One of the keys, though, trying to remember who brought it up. It might have been Hannegriff said the things that separated the 23 and 25 title teams from many other teams we've had recently
Ace.
is, well, not just an ace, but the more important thing, no significant contributor missed a start in either one of those
Okay.
two seasons.
Yeah.
So
Well, health is
it
always, yeah,
it
it's always a,
yeah, if you can make it, you tell me we can get an entire season without these guys missing any significant time. Uh, you know, we're the only person who misses a start is our catcher because, well, you just don't want your catchers catching 70 freaking games, so
yeah.
you sit them.
We
I,
hope we play 70 something games too.
Yeah, I mean, sign me up. I think this is definitely a team that anything short of Omaha would probably be borderline underachieving.
It was something we mentioned last year after the season was over and we were kind of transitioning into football and we had some excitement because we had this great transfer class, which turned out to be a dud. But it's fun when baseball goes so deep that there's not that big gap between baseball and
Right,
football.
correct.
And so this year, I'm really hoping because I'm going to be chomping at
Yeah.
the bit for some football, but
Oh
in
yeah,
Lane.
absolutely.
But hopefully we make another run like we did last year and in 23, and LSU's playing the last game of the
Deep into
season.
June, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
let's carry this into June. I mean, you know me, I'm a baseball guy. I'm really looking forward to
And then
this.
that gets us right into SEC media days, and boom,
Right.
we're off and running. Fall
As,
camp's around
as
the
as
corner.
you know, I'm buying a house this week.
Yeah.
Actually closing on it the day before opening day. So what I'm attempting to do, I have new living room furniture that won't be delivered till Saturday. But that means the couch in my garage can move from the garage I'm in now to the new garage with the projector screen. And I mean, I'm not going to have living room furniture to move. We just sit in the garage and watch
Let me
baseball.
tell you real quick, but after Katrina, um, all my furniture was ruined, but I had satellite. And once I got power back, I couldn't stay in my house, but I went over there on a Saturday night and I watched LSU play, I believe it was
Arizona State,
Arizona State. And you know what I sat on?
Milk
A
Crate.
milk crate. A milk crate, brother. You do what you got to do. I
That's
sat
what I'm gonna
on a
do.
milk crate and I was happy. That was the first happy I had after Katrina. I was excited
We
about it.
we have our new furniture. We're going with all new living room furniture, sofa, love seat, recliner set, an actual matching set, which I've never had in my life. But that won't be delivered till sometime during the day, Saturday. And I mean, I have a couch that needs to move from my current house to the new house, and I'm thinking the garage is a perfect spot for it with that
Yeah.
projector.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Seems like the ideal spot. I mean, what am I do? Leave it behind? I mean, well, looking forward to it. I'm so ready for baseball to get here. We got the countdown going on the website on the forum, gamedaytigers.com. 3 days. Today says 3 days, which is Dylan Cruz, and I'm stoked, man. I'm ready to try to defend the title. I need to add a poster. You've seen my wall here in my office. I got the 8 national
You
titles
need
up.
to show a picture of that at some point during the season when we're doing these podcasts, because that's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'll do that. I got the 8 natties and a nice canvas of like a sepia toned Alec box with Skip Berkman's kind of silhouette in there and a Skip's famous his famous quote. That's all there. And I need to add another. We need to add another poster this year.
Yeah. Well, y'all come check us out, gamedaytigers.com. Obviously, yeah, check out baseball. It's baseball season, but if that's not your jive, hey, come over to the turf and check out some football topics we got going on. We're excited about all that. We're excited about everything but men's basketball over there. So y'all come
You
check
have
us
a team?
out. No, no, we do not.
Okay.
Y'all come check us out at gamedaytigers.com, and we look forward to seeing you. Go Tigers.
Okay.
All right.